Hi, everyone. I know it's 10. We'll give just maybe a minute or two to see if anyone joins us, just a minute or so late, and then we'll get started. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. I am going to share my screen. And if for some reason anyone can't see my screen at any time, just feel free to comment and let me know. So today we're going to be talking about employee management and essentially how to hire people, terminate employees, how to update any of their information, their address, any type of their address, any tax information, direct deposit information, things like that. And so to get started, I'm going to show you where I'm in our demo account here, and I'm going to show you we have a new hire wizard and a quick hire in order to hire employees. Now there is a slight difference between the two, and I'll kind of compare them. And I prefer the new hire wizard. And if you look at the new hire wizard, you see that not everything is on this screen, right? It just has you can put their name, their social address, things like that first. And then what it does, it makes you hit next. Well, I like this better just because it's less information on the screen. It won't let you go hit next until you've entered everything, so you won't be able to miss anything. Now on the quick hire, as you see here, has all the information to get this employee listed on one page, which is fine if you prefer this. I just think that it's a little bit nicer to have the step-by-step of the new hire wizard. So you can see down here at the bottom, you've got the direct deposit. You've got if you want to put anyone in a certain department, division, a certain job, their tax location. Again, all of this information is on the new hire wizard. It's just in steps instead of all on one sheet. You've got their taxes here. You pull in their federal withholding, what they're claiming. Now, as some of you probably know, the 2020 W-4 is drastically different than it has been in the previous years. And here iSolved wants you to put the amount, dependent amount that they are requesting, not what they're claiming. So I know on the W-4 it'll say, okay, if they're claiming one child under 17, it's $2,000. So if your employee is saying, okay, I want to claim single to married, filing separately, and we have one child under 17, so I'd put 2,000 here. Okay. And then depending on the state that you're going to pull in, once you put in the address of your employee, this state will automatically pull through, and you can select, the withholding for that state as well. You'll also need to make sure you put in their pay type, hourly salary, the frequency, which this should automatically pull in depending on how your company is set up. And then you want to put in their hourly rate or their per pay salary. And then the annual salary will automatically calculate there. So, quick, easy way to get people hired. Like I said, I prefer the new hire wizard just because it is step by step. Now, we do also offer what is called onboarding, which I won't go into too much detail with that. We will have another training on onboarding specifically later this fall. And there are also, if you have a university login, there are also some videos, or you can even request from your account manager to know more about that. But essentially what onboarding is that the system, you can set it up. It's very customizable. You can set it up to email new employees, all the information. So essentially all this information for their address, their name, their social, they would be entering all of that themselves. Now, things like their pay and pay frequency, the I-9, the employer portion of the I-9, all of that will be filled out by the employer. They will also fill out their own direct deposit if you want them to. And they would have sheets in there. They can sign electronically, their W-4, things like that. They would be able to fill out. So all their tax information would also fill out automatically. So it's great because it's less work on the employer and puts most of that work onto the new hire that you're hiring. So we also offer that as well. So if that's something that you'd be interested in, then that's certainly something you can ask your account manager about, and we can give you more information about that. So we've hired people, right? Well, now what if you have an employee quit or you've had to terminate an employee? So I'm going to show you how to do that. So we're going to go into Jerry here. So we are on the employees general screen. It's going to show all of their information here in one spot. So if we want to go terminate them, we're going to go to this employment information box, and their status says active. Well, all of these headings, they are hyperlinks. So you're just going to click on this status as of today, and it brings you to this page. So as you can see, oh, their status is active. I'm going to change them to inactive. So this is actually, you do not want to just inactivate employees. You want to officially terminate them. And the reason you want to do that is because if you inactivate an employee, say you hire them again in 6 months and you just reactivate them. Well, just reactivating that employee would not initiate a new hire report. So every state requires new hire reporting every time you hire a new hire. Well, when you terminate someone, then you can rehire them, and that will initiate this new hire report to send to the state that we send for all of our clients. If you were to just inactivate them and then reactivate them, it won't send. Now, there is a situation, like say you have a woman who's going on maternity leave, or even a man who's going on paternity leave, and they won't be working for a little bit, but they're still with your company, then you can inactivate them and then activate them when they get back because they weren't terminated. So that would be a good situation for why you would use inactive versus terminating. So I'm going to show you here, if you want to come in here and terminate an employee, you're going to hit terminate. Okay, you're going to put their termination date and then the reason. So, if your reason is not here, then you can just select other. And you can also check if they're eligible for rehire. And you also want to make sure you check this inactivate all direct deposit accounts. Okay. And then you will hit save. So now you can see, now that we're in Jerry's general screen again, you can see this rehire button. So you don't have to go through and re-add them in a new hire wizard. You just come in here, hit rehire, put their rehire date, update any information they need updated, and then a new hire report will be initiated. Now, the only thing I will say about termination is you want to make sure it's a safe practice to terminate an employee after they have received their last check. Because if you go to terminate them, it essentially gets kind of messy with terminating them before they receive their last pay. So as a kind of a good practice, I always just advise clients to wait until after they have received their last payment, their last check, until you terminate them. And of course, you can you can do a previous termination date to when they were actually terminated, but you just want to wait until after they've received their last check. Okay, so now we've terminated an employee, and now I'm going to show you how to do some employee maintenance. Okay, so again, we're going to click back to employee summary. And we're going to click on we want to see the list of employees again. So we're going to go up here on this listing. And you can see all of our employees listed here. So let's say we want to go into Juliet and update some of her information. So there are two ways to get to her information. You can either go through the employee list here and click on her. You go to your employee, you get to your employee summary screen. So say she needs to change her address, so you need to change it for her. You'll click on the hyperlink address here, and it will take you to her general screen where you can update her address and also the self-service email. So this is a big one here. If you've got any employees who come to you and say, hey, I don't remember my password, I'm locked out of my account, you will come into their generalist screen. If their email is here, it will be gray, and this box will be checked. So in order to reset them, all you have to do is uncheck it, hit save, and then what that does is it makes this box editable. So say the person also maybe updated their email address. You can update their email address here or leave it depending on the situation. Check the box again and hit save. And that will resend them a registration link. You can also access their information. So if you want to edit anything that has to do with their employee pay, you're going to go to this employee pay button under employee management. And you can change their salary, tax information, deductions, garnishment, direct deposit information, things like that. So let's say we wanted to change Julie's, her pay rate. So we're going to come in here to salary, and we are not going to hit edit. Now, the only reason we would hit edit is if whenever we entered her the first time, we made a mistake and her salary was not correct, then we would hit edit. Now, say she got a raise or a demotion, making less money, then we would hit add new, and it would be a current change. So you can select a change reason here if you would like. Maybe she got a promotion, a merit increase, things like that. You can select anything, but it's not required. And she is salary. So you can change that to salary, you can change it to hourly, anything you'd like to do. Her frequency is monthly, so her normal hours are 173.33. And you can put her, so currently her per pay salary is $2,500. Say you want it to be $3,000. You would just click that in there and you would hit save. Now what this does with hitting add new, as you can see here, there are records that would not be there if you just hit edit. So say I hit edit, whoops, I meant to do $3,500. And then I hit save. So see, it doesn't create a new record. It just edits the one you're on. So that's why we like to have the add new if you're giving someone an increase. Okay. So other than doing their salary, you can also come over here and click on their tax information. And the nice thing is it'll stay on Juliet. So say you want to change a couple things for Juliet, it will stay on her. If you wanted to get back to your employee listing, you can click this button here to view the list. Or if you say, okay, I know I want to get to a specific individual, you would start typing in their last name. So let's pick someone from the list so you can see. Melton. Okay, so let's say we're going to go to Melton. So I click on this little magnifying glass, I start typing in Melton, and then she pops up here, and I'd click on her, it would take me to her tax information screen. Okay. So from here, we could change her filing status, how many dependents she wants to add. Same thing for state filing status, we can change that as well. And then we would just hit save. So, or if you've made a mistake and you don't want to make the change, you would hit cancel. So from here, another option is to change the direct deposit. So you would hit direct deposit, and then say there's a couple different situations. So say this person, Anastasia, she has a checking. Well, she also got a savings, and she wants to put $25 every pay into that savings account. So you would go to add new, and your status would be active. The account type, you would select savings. The sequence would be 1. And the reason we have it be 1 is because this checking up here has remaining net. Well, if you want her to receive $25 with every pay, that would have to be first. And then the rest of her paycheck would go into this checking account. So you would just add. Of course, it's telling me it's invalid. And then you would add an account number. Okay. And then you'd hit save. So now let's say they are changing their checking. So they don't want this checking anymore. They got a new bank account for whatever reason. So what they would do is you'd come in here and you would edit this checking account. You're going to hit edit, and you're going to change it to inactive and hit save. And then you're going to come in and you're going to add a new one, and you're going to make this one active. Account type checking, and the sequence will be remaining net. If there's only going to be one checking account or savings, depending on what their options are, you will always have one of the checking accounts, one of the direct deposits be remaining net. Okay. And then you'll put in your account number and your routing number here. And if you want to put a description, you can. And then you would hit save. Okay. Now you can have multiple. So if someone wants to have three checking accounts, they can. Okay. So now we've kind of talked about how to add, their personal information, how to update their personal information. So how to hire them, terminate employees, change their salary, their tax information, their address information, and their direct deposit. Now, we also can add any deductions to an employee. So let's say we have a health deduction, and let's see. And we want to They just signed up for health. Now, I will have to say, we also offer benefits module. So if you have their deductions, if their deductions is set up through benefits, then that is where it would have to be edited at. So we won't go too much into that today. But say if it is not through benefits, then you would edit that here. You can change the amount, or say, you know, hey, on this pay period, her health deduction is going to stop. Then you would put a stop date here. Now, the thing to note about a stop date is it has to be within the pay period. So say your pay period ended yesterday, but you are getting paid Friday. Well, if you put a stop date of today in there, it's not going to stop it on the pay period that she's receiving on Friday. It's going to stop it for the next one. So you've got to make sure that your stop date is within the pay period. Usually a lot of the deductions that are here can be, maybe they have like a cell phone deduction or a uniform deduction, things like that, that aren't associated with benefits. Like I said, if it is set up within the benefits module, then any editing of that, stopping, percent increases, amount increases will have to be done through the benefits module. So you can also set up, other than deductions, we have a garnishments tab. So sometimes you'll get, excuse me, employees with child supports or Chapter 13 garnishments, creditor garnishments, things like that. Now, I know a lot of clients, they feel more comfortable having us add those. If you would feel more comfortable us adding those, or if you would like to add them and then have us double check them, we can certainly do that. So you would want to make sure that you'd hit add new. So let's do child support. That's a pretty common one. Okay. We don't need to put the start date in here. It'll start automatically. Now the description, usually you can put like the case number or the employee's social security number. So that way whoever is receiving this payment will know who this child support is referring to. Okay. So then I'll scroll down. Now, client payee, that is with a check. And ACH payee is with that is going to go electronically. So you can also select, I'm sorry, I skipped a step here. You can select your state that they're in. So let's say this child support is in Illinois. You would select Illinois, and your ACH payee is going to be this ILSDU. This should already be set up automatically in the system for the child supports. So you won't have to, on the child support order, you'll also see, it'll tell you where you can mail the check and things like that, but we have set up at the client level the different states for child supports. You can also select client payee here. Now these are ones that are set up at the setup level for your account. But for child supports other than Alabama, we can send them electronically. So we'd select Illinois SDU. And we go further down, we put the case number here. And typically they tell you, say this, like this, she is in a weekly pay group. On the child support, it'll tell you the weekly amount that they need to pay. So let's say it's $50. And then for the most part, child supports do not go over 50% of disposable income, which is their gross minus taxes. So we will put 50% there. Okay. Now, on this other portion of it, we do not check any of that. Sometimes for different garnishment orders, like creditor garnishments, they don't want, like how this is default calculation, federal minimum wage times 30. If you wanted to make it more than that, you can put an override multiplier in there, and that will be stated on the garnishment order that you receive. But again, if you have any questions, you can reach out to your account manager and we can walk you through this. So let's hit save. And you can see here, they have the garnishment is set up now. Okay. So I pretty much have gone through kind of the basic, editing things for employees. We can also add different types of earnings for them. Let's see, I clicked on it. So let's say you want Anastasia to get a miscellaneous pay every single pay. Okay. So you'd come in here and you would put the amount you want her to receive and hit, sorry, my internet's being a little bit slow. You'd put the amount in here and then you'd hit save. You can also, at the setup level, if this miscellaneous pay was selected to have allow employee override, and we would have to do that on our end. So if you need that change, you can contact your account manager. Say this is you want her to only receive this missed pay the first pay of every month. There would be another line underneath the default schedule here, and you would select first pay of every month, and then you could put in $100 and hit save. Again, you can also do reimbursements through here. Like this is mileage pay, we can do mileage reimbursements or cell phone reimbursements, things like that. And you could put a stop date or start date as well. Again, any date that has, okay, so here we go. This is gonna let me do this now. Any start or stop date has to be within the pay period. Otherwise, it will not start or stop on that pay period. So I think I've pretty much covered everything I wanted to today. Again, we'll just kind of recap really quickly for everyone. We have our new hire wizard to hire employees. Again, you can use the quick hire wizard or quick hire, but it's not going to be step by step like the new hire will be. Then we had terminating employees. So here's the new hire wizard, and you have your step by step. You can also terminate employees by going to employee summary. Scrolling down here to the status hyperlink, clicking on that. Terminating them. Remember, we do not want to inactivate them unless, for example, if she was going on maternity leave or someone was going on paternity leave. So we would terminate them, put in their termination date, the reason, block their direct deposit, and then hit save. And then we can also edit any employee information by going to the employee summary. You can click on anything in here. All these are hyperlinks, the titles, name, address, federal filing status, all their tax information. These are hyperlinks you can click on, or you can access them through the menu over here under employee pay. And you can click on tax information over here as well. You can also change the salary under employee pay. And my audio connection says it's been restored, so I'm hoping everyone can hear me again. You can change question. Can't hear. Kathy, can you hear me now? You left, okay. Okay, so again, I apologize for that. I'm not sure why I lost internet connection, but you can also change their direct deposit here as well. And again, when you're adding any garnishments, if you want us to double check that for you, that's perfectly fine. But overall, that is the overall, this is how to update any basic information for employees, how to hire or terminate them. So if anyone has any questions regarding today's training, of course, you can reach out to me or your account manager. And a recording of this should be emailed out as well, so you can have this for future, for any future reference. So again, thank you for attending. I won't take up too much more of your time, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you so much.